It's such a rebellious act to be creative because I think, especially now, like the life and the world just wants you to be like on Zooms or on your phone on Instagram. So to actually have hobbies and creative outlet is like, I just think such a rebellious act that I want to keep doing.
Welcome to the On the Wall podcast, where we engage in conversations with artists, designers, enthusiasts, and visionaries who shape the world of interiors. Today's guest is Whinnie Williams, creative director and co-founder of Poodle Blonde. If you enjoy these conversations, please take a moment to subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review, and share this podcast with a friend. Whinnie Williams, thank you for coming on the Wall podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's great to connect. You're very busy. You've got a lot going on. And so I'd kind of like just to introduce the podcast listeners and now viewers to just who you are, where you've been, what you're doing, where you're going, what's next, everything and everything in between. It's without, creating a podcast that's far too long. But just getting the story of who Whinnie is and all that kind of good stuff. So right now you are in the UK and you live in the UK, right?
Yeah, I'm in Margate, which is a seaside town that is like faded grandeur. It's beautiful, it's tacky, it's classic fish and chips world, and I love it.
Oh, cool. All right. So where in the UK is that roughly like?
That's like the bottom of England on the coast.
Okay.
Bottom right.
All right, cool. So how far from like London would that be? Like an hour away or?
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour train drive.
Okay.
So it's a lot of people a lot of Londoners have moved to Margate. So it's really creative, lots of designers here and musicians. It's become like, everyone calls it like the East London by the sea.
Okay. Super artsy.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Yeah. And so did you just move there recently?
No, I've lived in Margate for like 7 years. My best friend moved here and I kept coming down to see her, and like it become one weekend, then the next, and then like every weekend. And I was like, I need to live here. Like days feel longer. You're on the beach. Like everyone's just, it just had like a campus feel to it. Like I don't need to be back at uni, but it felt like, I've made the most friends I've ever made in my life living here. And everyone's just like on the same wavelength of like creativity and sort of chaos. And I love it.
Yeah, there is something about that though, because I know after I was doing university, there's something about when you go, you don't ever want to leave because it's so utopian. You can be like, you graduate and go, what could I do in admin here or something? You just want to stay on campus.
Yeah, I didn't do the full uni experience. I feel like I'm trying to like long it out now, live it properly.
Relive the youth of going to university. Gotcha. So I want to go through a whole bunch of stuff. So let's talk about a little bit about where you're from originally. Let's start there. Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Kent, which is where Margate is, but then moved to Hertfordshire, and was like a really shy child, very I was shy, so I tried to keep myself like under the radar and was just an absolute art geek. So I just spent my life in my bedroom drawing and singing. Suburban life.
Yeah.
Wait, suburban. Wait, I always get those muddled up. Rural. I was in the countryside.
Okay, so more rural, less suburban.
Yeah, not suburban.
Not suburban. I sort of had a suburban upbringing. But okay, so rural. So like on the farm kind of thing, or just away from the city?
Just not in the city. It was very like we used to when we were teenagers. The end of the day, you'd get people's train tickets out of the bin to then go to London. As a teenager with like no money, you'd sort of use people's old tickets to get into town to like be in the music scene and like be in London. I remember that was my dream. Like from like 14, I was like, I need to move to London. Like I want to do art, I want to do music. I can't live here anymore in the countryside. I need to get out.
Yeah. So is music, would you say like music is your sort of first love in terms of the arts?
Um, yeah,
Because you
like
said
I've
you were
got,
drawing too and everything. So
yeah, I've got a really weird like career journey into what I do now and wallpaper design. But yeah, I was always like the geeky kid that loved music and art, and so they both went hand in hand. I feel like I'm a real like creativity for me is like in every form.
hmm.
But yeah, it was art and music were like very like was my life really growing up, and like was in bands really young and would draw the artwork for the singles and like just
Oh,
try
that's
and create
cool.
this world and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were in bands and you were help design the t-shirts and I bet and like the
Oh
cover
yeah, big
art and all
time.
that stuff.
I remember I'd like my first business when I was like 14. I'd buy like wooden drumsticks and paint the handles in like leopard print and try and sell them on eBay. Um,
Nice. That's cool.
yeah, yeah.
That
But
works.
I was a really shy kid, and like I said, I loved singing in my room, and but wouldn't sing in front of anyone. And my mum took me to a hypnotist who was our old next door neighbour, and this woman hypnotised me for I wanted to sing in public. And the next week I went to a group choir, and they were like, sing this bit, and I did it, and I was like, oh my god, like this has actually worked, and that's what started like my music career really.
You went into a hypnotist.
Yeah,
So so you must have been and your mom took you.
yeah, because I was
So
like, I
you
need
must
to do this.
well at least you had supportive parents that were like, we got to get you on the stage and right? I mean,
I'd like they were like my none of my family do music or art, so they were very confused. I was like a confusing kid
where
that
did this
wore like
come from?
really gross, yeah, I wore vintage gross clothes and wanting to be in a band. And I think my family were like, as long as you're a wedding singer or something you can make money, great. And then I just wanted to be like an artist, so they were like, oh, for God's sake. It worked out.
So how did I'm just curious about this. How did hypnotism work? Like when do you remember it?
Oh yeah, like I would recommend hypnotism to everybody. If there's something you want to change about yourself, like give it a go, because it's just like you're in that state between awake and asleep where your brain's really suggestive. So you tell them what you want. You're like, I don't want to smoke anymore. I want to be able to sing, all these things, and it's just speaking to your subconscious. And yeah, if you want something, it really works. It's great. But if you don't want to stop smoking, don't do it. It won't work.
So but when it's happening, are you fully aware that someone is speaking to you and making these
Yeah,
suggestions or like what is the hypnotist saying? Like you're not afraid. It's like
she's
Jedi
like,
mind trick kind of stuff. Like you are these aren't the droids you're looking for, you know. Is it just you don't have stage fright?
yeah, I'm gonna
What
get
does she do?
I'll get really ASMR now. She's like, you're really relaxed and you won't be scared of singing anymore. She's got a better voice than that, but that was my
But that was
interpretation
kind
of
of like
it.
what it was like.
Yeah, it's just very calm and suggestive over and over. And then they give you a tape at the end. And I'm that old, it was on like tape.
Yeah.
I've
So
still got it. Yeah.
oh, do you still have it? So you can
Yeah,
go back
yeah.
to it and listen to it if you were ever to revert and all of a sudden get really shy again.
It'd probably blow up because it's so old, but no, I just keep it as a keepsake for now.
And if anything happens, you'd have to put the pencil inside it and turn it
Yeah, very old school.
if the
We're
tape
both
ever
showing our
comes
age
out.
now. Yeah.
Well, cool. All right. So that got you to where like, all right, you were ready to take on the world,
Yeah, and then
essentially.
I just I started I wanted to be like Gwen Stefani. I wanted to be in a punk band, and like so I the boys at school, they had a band. I'm like, sorry, I'm going to be in your band now. So I sort of
Whether you like
crashed
it or
my way
not.
into that. Yeah, crashed my way into that band, and then found some other like guitarists, and was like, okay, let's do that. So I was just anyone that would write a song with me, anyone that would perform. And then I was singing in a bar one day, and this man come up to me and was like, I want to be a manager. And it's very like it
I'm
was
gonna
just
take you
like
to
in
the
a
top,
film,
kid.
take you to the top. And he was like, bless it, he was great. He like lived in Cannes, and he was very suave, and he'd been in the music industry for years. But yeah, he got me to write some songs, got put in front of some labels, and I got my first record deal at 20 to Universal. Um, so it was
Big
pretty,
company.
yeah, it was crazy. And I'd never had money before. Like I was a pot wash, worked in a reception and a bar and in the kitchen all in one place. I just did every job in this golf club. and on the side was writing songs and stuff. And I went to uni to do set design. So doing these part-time jobs, starting uni, because I thought, that gives me the money to live in London with my student loan. I'm at uni 3 days a week. The other days I can be songwriting. And that's when I got my break and left uni. So it was...
Were you at uni as like plan B in case music doesn't work? Or was it just because you also loved
nothing
the art education?
Yeah, I wanted to be around cool people, which, you see in the films, like art school is the thing to do. And I was like, I grew up somewhere where I was like, I need to be around like really cool people, and got there, and it was great, but quite stressful being in London when you're like, 17, 18 or whatever. But yeah, uni was fun. I learned a lot, but it was great doing both those projects at the same time. And really, like, I love the idea of, I did set design at uni because I wanted to create worlds that I could sit in and have a cup of tea, essentially. Because one of my first art projects was like, I built like a circus scene in my mum's shed and got my friend round who's a photographer, and we all dressed up, and like he took these really cool pictures for like my final art foundation course. And there was that moment that I was like, okay, this is what I think set design is. Let's do this at uni. And what was great, like once I left uni and got my record deal, I could use that set design, and I was helping with my music videos, wanting to do more sets, and I was drawing the artwork for my single releases. So all that world come together. And I think when you're a musician, or, it helps to create that world that goes along with your music.
On the Wall is brought to you by Milton & King, the trusted partner for exquisitely crafted luxury wall coverings. Milton & King's trade program is designed to make your creative process seamless, providing exclusive trade-only benefits, which includes complimentary samples, early access to new collections, and professional pricing structured to enhance your business success. To assist with your projects, you'll have the flexibility to curate your own custom swatch book, tailored specifically to your design needs. With dedicated customer support every step of the way, our trade program is here to elevate your design vision and simplify your journey from inspiration to installation. Ready to join a partner who understands your craft? Visit miltonandking.com to apply for your trade account today. Milton & King, your vision, our craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Do you still do much dabbling, songwriting? Like, do you play guitar or anything? Because if you're writing songs, I'm guessing it's easier if you play an instrument too, or do you play piano or anything like that?
I actually only started playing guitar a few years ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't, like, I wish I would have learnt that and done that from a young age. But yeah, I've picked it up now. I had a baby, and I was like, my husband is in a band, plays music. So I was like, I want to be the cool mum as well. Like, he's playing my daughter guitar. Like, I want to do that. So I've learned all the Chapel Roan songs and all the cool Lola Young songs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's cool. But do you still songwrite? Even though maybe it might not be the primary focus at the moment, do you still play around or get melodies in your head or lyric ideas that you write down or anything like that?
Yeah, like, I loved songwriting. My favourite thing was being sent a track and then just writing a song over it and recording it. Line. So I just loved lyrics. Like, as a kid, I was always had poetry. I was such a geek. I had like books and books of poetry. My garage is full of my songwriting books still. So I think words are just it's just so fun to get down your ideas in like a new way or context. But I actually, like, I've always sung secretly on adverts as well. So I'm still on TV with songs that I've sung and under a different name.
Just like as a hired singer to sing like a jingle or something.
Yeah. So I've always done that for years, like on the down low, sung on big adverts and things. But yeah, I think I still sing. If someone asks me to do backing vocals, if I ask to get sing on an advert, I'm there. I'll do it.
That's awesome. So it could almost be like who's who, like people be watching commercials during TV and be like, I wonder if this is her. There's just no way
That's her again.
well, there's no way they'll know, right? Because it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like it's advertised or anything. It's just
Yeah. I'm like the queen of the side hustle and so I'm always got some pot on the pan, a random pot.
hey, if it works. But it's not just like you were just dabbling in this. You got to do looks like some pretty big tours and some pretty big shows and all that. Like I read
Yeah.
you were on tour with Ellie Goulding and
Yeah, that was insane.
LMFAO and
Oh yeah, that was bad. That was horrible. But the touring with Ellie Goulding for a month was like, that was my first tour. I got to pick a band, which was like being Simon Cowell on X Factor. We had to like interview
auditions.
a band. Yeah, it was went on tour for a month, and then I toured Australia as well. I did a two-week Creamfields tour with Martin Solveig, and it was like my youth was mad. Like the stories you can come up with when you're in music, I think it just sounds like you've made it up all the time. But it was just so much fun.
Yeah. So when you're playing in front of the big crowds like that, did no sort of reversion to the shyness? So you were just like
no, still
no blocks, just still full on I own the stage.
No, it's weird. I've always been quite as a performer, I'm not a big pop performer, even though my songs were quite pop. Like I'm like a shy, loud person. So I'm actually internally quite shy and I'm always trying to fight it a bit. So I can sing and I enjoy that part, but performing was never like my favorite bit. If, after the month tour I did, when you're in the swing of it, I was like, oh, I love this. But if I got asked to sing on stage now, I'd be like, oh God, I need a bit of practice. So it's not my natural, I hate public speaking, which is bizarre. But
no, I get that. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's an interesting way you describe yourself as a shy, loud person. I feel like that'll be the subtitle to this podcast. Shy, loud person. Well, that's cool. All right. So yeah, you're doing a lot of music stuff and like a full music career. But you also got into other things like modeling and presenting and these other things. How did you transition, I guess, not necessarily out of music, but how did these other things start to come into play into your sort of, as you're doing music full time, how does it transition from that to something else? Like
labels, like modeling, I wasn't a model. It was just like it's like, you're a singer, that like, can you wear these clothes and we'll take some pictures sort of thing. So I loved it because it wasn't an extension of like performance. I love dressing up and like the performance element. And also like when I was doing music, I was DJing like a couple of nights a week as well. So I really like tried to do a lot, like I say, create that world. And that's what I really feel I do now with Poodle Blonde, my brand. Like when I bought my first flat, saved up my record deal money, bought my first flat, and the day I bought it, I got dropped. Which is just classic. You're like, oh my God, yay, I'm an adult. 23, bought my flat, literally that day, got dropped. And my management dropped me, just didn't reply. I just got completely ghosted and dumped, and it was horrible. But everyone has the same story of music. It's fine. But it's when you're a young person, like it's so awful to have that, to like everyone looks after you. You've got these people's like, you've got money, people looking after you, cool stuff's happening, and then like no one wants to talk to you or reply. But I got this. Yeah, bye guys. So I got this flat and I was like, okay, I need to make money. I do set design. I like weird interiors. So I just did it up really weird. I have friends that are photographers and I was like, come and shoot at the house, like use it for photo shoots. And like a top shop, this fashion brand, they shot in the house. And I was like, I think this is a thing, like, a location house where people hire it for stuff. So I was DJing a lot at that time. So got back on my feet, but moved, bought a house further out of London so I could get something a bit bigger. And it was all original 70s. Like an old lady had lived there for years. Moved in and I was like, I can't afford to rip this out. And I love old stuff anyway. So let's make it even worse. Like, let's go hard on the 70s. I went in on it and then hired it out as a 70s location house, which just really took off. We got a lot of bookings, shot some really good. Actually, there's like a diamond company that that optioned the house for the shoot, and then they googled where the house was, and they're like, "There's no way we're shooting diamonds in this part of London. We're not doing it." So like, it was. But that was just such a mad time. Like I was really lucky. This really amazing photographer that I was friends with moved in. She's huge now. She's shooting like Rihanna stuff, and a musician, producer friend of mine who's huge. Like he's doing Jonas Brothers songs and just huge stuff. We all lived in this weird house in Ilford in London, and just created this like world. And that's really where Poodle and Blonde, my company, started. I was like, look, my house is in all these magazines. It's getting all this press. I should be designing wallpaper because it's going to be in the background of everything. And that's what was the starting point really for Poodle and Blonde.
Yeah. Wow. So so you draw all the stuff for Poodle and Blonde, right?
Yeah, like I love working in different mediums. So it's like hand painted or embroidered or like any sort of medium. I'm like, I haven't done that. Let's give that a go. And like one of our prints took me 3 weeks to embroider, and it's like one of my favourite wallpapers. So yeah, I love mixing it up.
But you don't just do wallpapers, right? So like Poodle and Blonde, I guess we should explain a little bit.
Yeah.
So Poodle and Blonde is what your focus is now primarily, right?
Yeah. So like,
or is it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like my transition from, set design, music into this location house, and wow, I should be designing wallpaper, led me to, it's like designing prints and interiors. I really think that having the location house, and then I moved again, is really like, it's cemented me in interiors. It's like, it's going back to that thing of I want to create worlds that I can sit in. So that's really where it stemmed from. And Poodle and Blonde is a fabric and wallpaper like brand inspired by mid-century 70s retro coolness, but that feels very modern, with my business partner Kira. And yeah, that's Poodle and Blonde. It's just like how to create those worlds. I always say I want people to live like they're in a movie set, and if they're the star of the movie, like how do they live? And it's like, make your house mad, go for it.
Almost like old Hollywood in a way, or maybe that's going back too retro, because you're more 70s as opposed to like 50s, 60s, right?
I think they're also linked. Like I live now in a 50s house, and I'm like well in my 50s, like Palm Springs era. And I think the 50s is so closely, it's influenced the 70s, and you can tie these things back. But yeah, I'm in my 50s Palm Springs era right now.
So like mid-century modern furniture and
just like, I love when your interiors, like you want to dress up to match it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I want to like have some fluffy slippers, and like
you want to wear a shirt that matches the lampshade.
Yeah, and just like look like a rock star. I want to feel like a movie star in my house and host parties and get my friends around and be really extra and like just I think that's how life should be. Like pretend you're in a film and just do that.
Well, yeah, it's your world, right? You want to make it you're essentially your stage. You're where you do your thing. So talk a little bit about, so you said you're working, Poodle and Blonde is you, and you have a partner that you do it with. So tell us about Kira and how you met her and what kind of role she plays.
So I had my first, like my location house in London. I called it Poodle and Blonde because I had 2 poodles, and it kept saying I set up the Instagram, I was hiring the shoots, then I wanted to create the products, and I kept saying coming soon. And I was ringing up wallpaper factories, I was ringing cushion factories, and everyone was like, babe, just don't bother. This is really hard. Like, don't do it. And I was like, I've been in the music industry. Nothing's as hard as that. So I just, but it was like a year. And Kira, who I didn't actually know, we'd never met, she just followed my house Instagram because she said she liked that sort of aesthetic. And because I kept saying coming soon, she messaged me, she DM'd me, and she was like, you keep saying coming soon, do you want some help? I'm in production. I thought production meant like a music producer. So I was like, fine, like let's meet up. And then when we met up, I'm like, oh right, she helps like indie interiors brands launch. And we were there after like 20 minutes. You know, you'd pay her a day rate to help you do this. But after like 20 minutes, she was like, shall I just come in and we be business partners? And when would you ever do that? You'd never say yes. But I think those serendipitous moments in life when you just really get on with someone and it feels like, you know, you feel like you're buzzing, like you're sort of buzzing with energy. I was just like, I think this is a really good idea. So I was like, yeah, let's run it together. And like a year later, so funny, like we launched the website and Kira gave birth a week later. So it's just this mad chaos to get the website out and launch. So yeah, Kira's always like, I've got 2 babies that launched at the same time.
Okay, so she must handle a lot of the sort of like the nuts and bolts of the business then, right?
Yeah, so Kira worked she's worked at different like interior brands and then was sort of freelancing and helping other like emerging brands. And she does, when we started working, we're like, okay, we definitely need our roles. I'm the creative, like I'm terrible at admin or like anything useful. So I do the creative and Kira is production. She's really good at honing in my ideas because I can go quite crazy and she'll just be like, this is commercial, this will sell, this works. So we're a really good team of like filling in the gaps for each other.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so how long, when did Poodle and Blonde launch? How long has it been going for?
Like 2018, end of 2018 we launched.
Okay, 2018. All right.
So 7 years. 6, yeah.
So you've been going, like the coming soon, the day you actually started selling has been 2018 till now. So for 6-7 years. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you were the artist that created all the designs, like from the beginning, or
there's only one
hire artists, or
there's only one artist we've hired, and it's my friend's mum, and she is like, I just want to be like her. She's so cool. She's like the most incredible painter and just artist and collector of cool things. And I've like had art lessons with her as well. So she did our poodle. We've got a poodle print, and she just paints stuff so like it's got a 50s look to it. So I was just like, I can't do it as good as that. You need to do this. So she did our cowgirl print and our poodle one, but I've done everything else. But I'm very precious about the designs. I just think like if I don't design stuff, it doesn't feel like my baby anymore. And I think as you get older, it's really hard to like how like life gets serious and you get older and you have kids and stuff. And I think art is the one thing that is easy to like give away to someone else because it takes time and it can be annoying to get into that zone. But for me, it's like, I need to hold on to this part of myself. It feels like your youth or your like play or childfulness is in your creativity. So for me, it's like, I'm not getting anyone else to do this. I have to do it. Even if I can't be bothered sometimes, I just, I love that part of myself and want to be connected to it.
Yeah, no, that actually makes quite a bit of sense because even as a songwriter, if I'm not doing music for a certain period of time, you get almost depressed. And I've talked to a lot of people who are like surface pattern designers or painters, artists, or whatever it is. And it's the same kind of thing. There's some sort of part of them that's in that, their identity or something, that if they don't do it, they no longer feel like themselves.
Yeah.
And some of them can fall into like a depression or something. So I'd imagine it sounds like it's almost the same for you, where you're talking about not losing that sort of, in some ways, that inner child, that inner creative person. And so in the same way, you're wanting to hold on to that because, like you said, it is easy to let go because it does require effort, and you do have to get into a zone, like a headspace to do it. It's not just something you just flip on and off like a light switch, especially when you have so much else going on, and you're a mom and a wife and all these other things that you do to kind of just live normal, practical life.
I think it's such a rebellious act to be creative because I think, especially now, like that life and the world just wants you to be like on Zooms or on your phone on Instagram. So to actually have hobbies and creative outlet is like, I just think such a rebellious act that I want to keep doing.
Well, yeah, I totally agree because it's one of those things where, obviously everyone's a consumer on some level. We all have things we like and stuff, but at some point when you realize that when you're scrolling on your phone, you're realizing all I'm doing is consuming.
Yeah.
Like I'm not creating anything. No. I'm not giving anything. I'm just sitting there watching what everybody else is doing. So to be able to make sure that you're like, I need to sort of do something, and not just consume, not just, I mean, that makes total sense to me.
Introducing Benchmade Modern. Tailored sofas crafted just for you, delivered in as little as 4 weeks. Create a custom piece that perfectly reflects your style. Choose from our collection of designs from timeless to modern. Customize the size, then personalize with your ideal fabric, cushion, and leg style. Discover your dream sofa today.
So how many designs are you up to right now? Like over the 7 years, you would have built your catalog, or how many are you working with at this point?
I'm really bad at remembering this question. We don't have like, we maybe.
Do you retire designs and bring out new ones, or are you just building the catalog?
No, not yet. We've been really slow in our growth, which I think has been good. We always launch like one big collection a year, which is like 4 or 5 prints, and then we'll do like the capsule. But it's just really worked for us because I think we try and design each collection that it can style nicely with what we're doing, and the colours all work together. So it almost feels like an add-on. It's not really separated, and because we've got that mid-century like retro feel to it, it all speaks to each other, and it doesn't feel like there's none of our prints that I feel are dated that I'm sick of that, because I think I try to create design stuff with nostalgia in mind, and like when you're referencing the past, I think that always feels relevant.
Yeah, and so you can get the designs, you can order them now in the UK, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to be launching in the US through Milton & King.
Yeah, we're so excited. It's like for our a lot of Americans like love our product because I think it's very kitsch and retro, and it feels quite Americana, a lot of our prints. And there was just like, with shipping and it was just
duties and taxes.
Yeah, it was just hard for our customers to buy from us. So now I'm just really excited that it's going to be way more accessible and quicker, and hopefully see loads more kitschness in people's homes in America.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not mistaken, it should be launching, I think, July 31st or August 1st or somewhere around there. So,
oh my God, that's so exciting.
Which will coincide well when we put this podcast up, which I think is going to be around the same time.
Nice.
So, yeah, it'll be good. All of a sudden, so if you're in the US, you'll be able to get Poodle and Blonde designs on the US website of miltonandking.com. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So what else is, well, before I get into that, so are you still, when you're creating these designs and all that, are you currently now like drawing designs for the next thing? Are you sort of setting aside time where you're like, like almost like it's a muscle with art and stuff like that? You have to kind of always be doing it. Are you setting aside like time every day to be working on designs, or do you kind of go through periods where you're like, all right, for this month I'm going to do stuff, but then the next month I'll take off? Or are you kind of always curating?
I'm
always creating.
I think because I get the kick from creativity in so many different ways. I'm definitely guilty of like, when we've got a new collection, I'll pick up the paintbrush and I'm full on artist mode. And then when that's done, like we've just finished a new collection, so we shot it last week. So that was such a great, like, intense time of research and painting, and I love doing shoots. But then it would be like, no, I don't want to look at a paintbrush. I'm gonna go and do some other random hobby that I'm into, or I think with the brand as well, like I love branding, and I love connecting with people, and just like the hustle I love, and like meeting people and coming up with new ideas. So I feel like a lot of my time is creating like opportunities, and just, I think being connected to people really opens doors to really exciting things. So I try to keep that very open with just like what I'm available to. I'm just like, I want some cool ideas. I want some madness. I want to like, it's a wallpaper brand, but let's do something weird, like a few weeks ago, I was like, I want to get bees. I got a beehive. I painted the beehive in one of our new prints. And now
I'm got a beehive, like an actual beehive.
Yeah. And now I'm a beekeeper. Like I've got bees. you know. So it's just like,
And now you have bees forever. Like that's just...
yeah. Now I'm a beekeeper, so it's like I love keeping stuff random, and I like keeping my husband on his toes. And
that's really cool.
And my poor business partner Kira, she's like, what is she gonna do next?
That keeps life exciting, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I do. Just, you know, I'm doing my house up at the moment, so that's another extension of like, I might not be painting intricate things, but I might be tiling or painting a wall, and like, so creative in different ways, always.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so wrapping up here.
Yeah.
So we got Poodle and Blonde. You got new design. You just finished shooting a new collection of designs. So when is that going to come out? When?
That's going to come out in the next few weeks. It's we've never done florals, and we were like, we need to do florals. So I'm really excited. We're launching 6 new prints that just feel really nostalgic and fun. And there's some classy ones in there. There's some really kitsch ones. Yeah, and then I've got another collection.
They're all in the retro vibe. They're all like fit the brand. Okay, cool.
But we like to do it so like an interior designer can take it in another direction where it can feel quite chic and like not too crazy. But we like to do crazy, and then we do colorways that are less crazy.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. So new collection coming out in a few weeks. Designs available in the US through miltonandking.com. Anything else on the horizon that you're excited about working on or in the pipeline that you want to mention?
I guess like when we launched Poodle and Blonde, I bought a new house, was renovating that, and it become like the show house for all the prints. It was a place I could put Poodle and Blonde when we've properly launched it, bring it to life in this real house. And at the moment I moved from there. I'm in this 50s house, so we're renovating it at the moment. So I'm just so excited. It's like the Poodle and Blonde HQ house part 2. And to just, you know, it's so nice to have a tangible space that I want to do workshops and just really expand this world with other people. So that's my project at the moment. I'm living in a lot of dust. But yeah, it's gonna be worth it.
So what will that be? It'll be a space for other people to use, or what is
it? It will be a location house again. So my husband's a filmmaker. I just love having people around. So it's an excuse to rent your house for the day. 20 like fun nuts people come around for a photo shoot, and I just love it. So yeah, it's gonna be a location house, and I love the idea. I'd love to host workshops where people that interiors lovers can come and we can talk about wallpaper and how to design your space or business, or like other people can host things there. I want this creative hub that people can all connect in. So that's the plan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Very exciting. It's very cool to hear.
Thank you.
And hopefully you'll be joining me on this podcast a lot going forward as we talk to lots more people.
I know, I'm really excited. So thanks for having me today.
Thanks for making the time and tuning in and all that good stuff. And yeah, this is our sort of maiden voyage of On the Wall podcast video version. So thanks again for taking the time, and we'll touch base soon.
Thanks so much.